Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this live broadcast. My name is Stephen, and I'm the lead branch supervisor for the Sauble Beach and Wyerton branches of the Bruce County Public Library. Today, we have Phillip Craig from the NII, the Nuclear Innovation Institute, joining us for today's science program. Phillip is the NII Explore director, and one of his many jobs is to bring super fun science activities to kids in Bruce County. Teachers, please feel free to leave comments and questions in the YouTube chat, and Phillip will answer them as we go along. We would also appreciate you letting us know how you enjoyed today's program by filling out the survey, which is in the description you see below. All right, Phillip.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate it. Guys, we have possibly my favorite happening today. So we are going to be making some ice cream in a bag. Now, this experiment, it's delicious. It's borderline nutritious. And more than anything else, it's going to teach us a little bit about states of matter. So whether things are solid, liquid, or gases. It's going to talk to us about freezing points. We're going to learn a whole lot, but really, we're just going to be making some delicious ice cream. Before we begin, just a couple things I want to go over. Thing number one, if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have a funny story, make sure you pop it in the chat. Pop it in the chat below, and then Stephen, he's going to be keeping his eye on that thing, and we're going to be just making sure, if you guys have a question, we'll be sure to answer it. And the more questions you have, the more fun I have. So make sure you put those in there. Also, if you're a teacher and you have a class that's watching, if you can put that in the comments as well, I'd love to give you guys a shout out. But our first shout out goes to Miss Chimney Smith's grade 6-7 class from Mildmay Carrick Public School. We did one of these on Tuesday, and they put a whole video together for us. And that was amazing. We love that. You guys rock. So great job to Miss Chimney Smith's grade 6-7 class. Also, they put a video. We had a bunch of other people submit videos. And if you guys take a video of your ice cream and your experiment and you send it in to us on our Instagram page at NII Explore, or even on Facebook at the Nuclear Innovation Institute, you will win a Tinker Crate, much like M. Capling did for her video of her kids doing the experiment out in the snow, and they had a big alien balloon that they blew up. So that was really exciting. Also, if you're a teacher and you comment on the chat, you're entered into a draw to win 3 books titled Passing Gas, which is all about climate change and how we should protect our environment. But enough about that. We are going to get into our experiment. So I'm just going to go over what it is we're going to need to make all of this happen. So the first thing we are going to need is half and half cream. Now, you may be at home saying, oh, I don't have half and half cream. That's all right. Even if you just have milk, that will do. However, the higher the fat content, the better. So half and half cream is best. Heavy whipping cream will work. 2% will work. 1% will work. But half and half is probably best. So half and half cream, vanilla extract, sugar, salt. Now, I'm using coarse sea salt, as you can see. However, just regular salt will also work. If you get the bigger granule salt, that's a little bit better, but any salt will work. So salt. I said sugar. A big Ziploc bag, a little Ziploc bag, and a bag of ice. Okay? Now, if you don't have a bag of ice and you're like, oh no, where am I going to get that many ice cubes? Just a big old jar of snow will also work. All right? So if you don't have ice, head outside, get a big scoop of snow. The whiter, the better, really. But this will not be going into our ice cream, so you don't need to worry about like, is it totally clean? Because this is just going to be used to cool down our ice cream. Okay, so that is great. We have all of our ingredients, and now we're going to start making them. Okay, so we're going to start putting things together. Once again, if you have any questions or if I'm going too quickly, you just hit me up in the chat and say, "Yo, Philip, slow your roll. Let's calm things down." So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to get our little bag, our little baggie, and our half and half cream. Okay, and we are going to put half a cup of half and half cream or milk, whatever works best, and we are going to put it into our little bag. Okay. Once again, you want to be careful with this stuff. And like, I imagine you're watching on a computer. You don't want to be pouring the milk directly over top of your computer. So just take a step back, maybe get a mom or a dad or a brother or sister to help you with this one. And that would be great. Okay. So we have our half and half cream. We're going to get a little measuring cup and we're going to put it in. Now, a bunch of you may be wondering, hey, Philip, you said any milk will work, but milk with a higher fat content works better. Why is that? That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked. Okay. The fat content in ice cream or in the milk, what it does is when we are going to be shaking, when we are shaking up our ice cream, what that does is it infuses air into it. So we have ice cream with air bubbles. Now, the air bubbles is what gives the ice cream its creaminess, okay? If it didn't have air in it, you wouldn't be able to scoop it. It would just be like a big, sweet ice cube, okay? But if there's air in it, that means it's nice and soft and we can enjoy it. Now, the fat content in the milk, what that does is that creates kind of like fat, like gobulets is the word. And that when an air bubble forms in the ice cream, in the cream when we're shaking it, what it does is all those fat molecules, they like make a barrier. So it's a super long bubble, keeping all of the air trapped. Okay. And that's what gives us our light, fluffy ice cream. So we have half a cup of half and half. That's where we are right now. Oh, I just got to say, a whole bunch of comments are coming in. Miss Boucher's grade 3 class from Huron Heights. Miss Boucher, great to see you. Miss McCabe's class is here. Miss McBride and Miss Roberts' class. Woo! Mrs. Black from KDSS. KDSS, my alma mater. So I'm glad you guys are here. Great. Once again, glad you guys are here. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. So we have half a cup of half and half cream in the small Ziploc bag. Next up, we are going to get 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay. Now, Stephen, why do you think we put sugar in ice cream?
To make it sweet.
To make it sweet, to make it delicious. Stephen's got it. So there's that reason. Another reason. Okay. What sugar does is that it lowers the freezing point. Okay. So water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, but if you put sugar in it, that means it makes it a little bit colder before it melts, or sorry, before it freezes. My apologies. So with that, what it does is it kind of keeps some of the material inside of it a liquid for longer. And what we want with a perfect ice cream, we want ice crystals. Okay, that gives it the coldness of it. But we also want a little bit of liquid and a little bit of those air bubbles to get the perfect consistency. Okay, so we have half a cup of half and half cream and then 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now I know some kid out there is like, if 1 tablespoon is good, 2 tablespoons is better. It's not. Just calm that down, slow that roll, because if you put too much sugar in there, it lowers the freezing temperature too much, and then you just end up with a big like sugary, milky mess, which also sounds delicious, but not what we're going for today. So we have half a cup of half and half, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then finally we need 1/4 of a teaspoon. So just like a tiny, tiny little bit. Look at that one. That's like a teensy little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, vanilla extract right here. Boop. We're going to put that in. Once again, this is just for flavor. There's no science reason for this. So this is what we call the Steven. It's just for flavor. It's just here to have fun. Okay? Once again, don't pour this right over top of your computer because, oh, you might spill just a little bit like I just did. And boop. Perfect. That's all done. We're going to seal up the bag. We're going to seal up the bag, but when you seal up the bag, we want to do it in kind of a very purposeful way. Okay? Sometimes Ziploc bags, when you close them, they keep a whole bunch of air inside, and it's like a big bubble bag. Okay? We actually don't want to do that for this time. We want to squeeze like most of the air out of the bag, get as much out as you can. It's okay if there's some in there. You actually want a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this bag into a big bag of ice, okay? And when we shake it around, if it's a big bubble, the ice will come and pop the bag and we'll make a big mess. So we don't want to do that. So just to conclude, or just to recap, little bag, if people came in late, little bag, we have half a cup of half and half cream. Once again, milk will work. We have 1 tablespoon, of sugar, 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then we just seal up the bag. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That is what we're all about. Oh, so that is ready to go. Not seeing, we have a few more classes joined in here. Madame Danton's class from Downview is here. Woohoo! Downview, nice to see you. And then Mrs. Stewart's kindergarten class from Tobermory, all the way here. From the tub. Great to see you guys. That's exciting. So we have our first bag. It's all sealed off. It's ready to go. So we're going to start working on our second bag, okay? So if you have another bag, this is our big bag. So what you're going to use is 4 cups of ice cubes. Okay, so 4 cups of ice cubes, but if you don't have ice cubes, you can do what I'm going to do, and you can use snow. Okay, so snow is just a whole bunch of tiny ice flakes, all kind of like put together. So I'm going to dump this bag in. You want to fill this bag about 1/3 full. Okay, so we're going to work on our fractions. If a half is about this much, 1/3 is going to be about this much. Okay. So we're going to put in a whole bunch of snow or ice cubes. Ice cubes work probably a little bit better, but I'm using snow just to show you that it could work. So don't worry about it. All right. Oh, Greta is saying, hey, I'm using snow. I love that. Great job, Greta. All right, so I'm going to dump in my snow here. Oh, pull it out. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that is too much snow. All right, so I have a whole bunch of snow here, about this much. It's all going to pack down to be about 1/3. So about that much, okay? So once again, if you have ice cubes, that's great. Use the ice cubes, but if you use what you got. So if you only have snow, that's okay. So I have my 1/3 of a bag of snow, probably about 4 cups. And then I am going to get my salt. So once again, I'm using coarse sea salt, but any salt will work. And I'm going to put half a cup of salt into the bag. Okay. Now, once again, this is our bag with our salt in, or with our ice in it. This isn't the bag, or this isn't the bag with the cream in it, because we don't want salty ice cream. That would be weird. All right, so I got my salt We're good. We're happening here. So we have half a cup of salt, and we're going to dump that into our bag. Now, this is for a super important reason, and we're going to chat about that, but just before, we're going to recap where we are, and we're going to get to the fun part, all right? So after you put your salt in the bag with your snow or with your ice, you're going to get your little bag full of cream, and you're going to just pop it into that bigger bag. And then you're going to seal them both up. You're going to squeeze the air kind of out of both of them like that. And then, and this is really important, this is really, really important, either get like a towel, or what's even better, a pair of big winter mittens. Boop. And hold on to your bag. Now, it's important that you protect your hands, because the ice will actually give you frostbite on your hands. You got to protect them. And that's because the salt is actually going to make it even colder, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. But before I explain that, what we're going to do is we are going to get our bag of ice and snow and salt and our bag of cream on the inside, and we're going to shake it. We're going to start shaking it up, okay? Doing that, and we're going to shake it for about 5 minutes, okay? While we're shaking for 5 minutes, I'm going to toss it over to Stephen, and he is going to be explaining all the cool stuff that the library has to offer. If you have any questions, make sure you're popping them in the chat. But if you don't have any questions, get your bag, get your ice cream, and you just start shaking them with me. Meanwhile, Stephen, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Philip. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Just a little bit of info. So the 17 branches of the Bruce County Public Library are currently open, which is great. So you can come in, you can check out our books. We have plenty of science books available. Some of my favorites. So we have fairy tale science, which I'm not sure if it's showing up. There it is. We also have superhero science, which is a great, cool book. It's packed with fun facts and mind-blowing experiments. We also have science experiments you can eat. How cool is that? So like today's experiment, you know, there's plenty of fun things in that book as well. If you're not a member, that's not a problem. Cards are free. You can stop by anytime with a parent or guardian. We can sign you up for a card. And we have lots of cool things beyond books as well. So we actually have snowshoes, we have binoculars, and we actually have park passes. So you can visit Ontario parks, any park, provincial park in Ontario for free with your library card. So you can lend these out, or you can borrow these from the library. Super cool, a lot of fun. As well, if you are interested in more STEAM videos, we do post quite a few STEAM videos all the time to our YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and take a look at our website and social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram because we're always posting cool science videos, book readings, and a lot of fun things. Yeah, as well as the library, we offer take-home activity kits every month. So you can stop by the library at the beginning of every month, and we have a different activity that you can take home and do at home. Sometimes we post videos for these as well. They're a lot of fun, and it's a different activity every month, which is super cool. Some of the other things that the library offers, we actually offer ukulele. I'm not going to play them for you. I'm a terrible ukulele player, but they're a cool thing. Philip is very distracting right now. Ukuleles are great. You can borrow them with your library card. As well, we offer lots of STEAM kits. We have robots. We have puzzles. We have so many cool different things at the library. So feel free to visit any of our 17 branches and pick up a free library card. All right, Phil. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Whew, all right. So I just did a whole bunch of shaking. While I was shaking, a lot of my snow disappeared. So I had to add a little bit more snow in, but we've been shaking for about 5 minutes. So now is a good time. Take a little break. We're going to take out our ice cream. It's probably not going to be ready yet, though. Okay? So we're going to open up the bag, try to catch our breath. Whew! I was doing a lot of shaking. So Steven, I thought he was going to be doing some shaking too.
Okay, I can start.
He's got his bag, so. Oh, he's getting started. Yeah, so mine is not ready yet. Still very liquidy, starting to solidify a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put that in the bag, and we're going to keep shaking for probably about another 5 minutes. Okay, it's a lot of shaking. Yeah, I do a lot of shaking. You don't have to be quite as exuberant as I was. Even just like doing this is fine. Okay, if you find that a lot of your ice has melted, that's no big deal. You can put in some more ice, but you don't need to put any more salt in. Okay, just put in more ice. Okay, so I'm going to be my ice cream. We're just going to kind of put that to the side for just 1 second, and we're going to talk about why did we add salt? Oh, sorry. Just while we're here, Miss Ann Yons, grade 6 class from Northport, are here. And they wanted everyone to know that the kids from Northport are awesome. So the kids from Northport, I agree. Nice to see you. Madame Gautier's class from Donview is here and is excited to learn how to make ice cream. Nice to see you. And the Houston Hawks are in the house. Grade 2-3 class from Southampton, excited to be here. Shout out to Miss Scholdice students learning at home. All right, Scholdice has gotcha. All right, so the reason we put salt in the bag, and this is really important, what happens when you add salt to ice or to water? Now, we actually put salt on our roads as a way to keep the ice off of them, but that's not, so most people think you add salt and it makes the ice warmer so it melts, but that's actually not what happens. So what happens when there's water and it's just kind of flowing, it's just loosey-goosey, all of the molecules are kind of spread out, but what happens when we start taking energy away? When we start taking energy away from that, all of a sudden, those molecules that were all loosey-goosey, they start to get closer and closer together, and they end up contracting. So they're like super solid, and that becomes ice. Okay? Now, if we were to add energy, they'd become all loosey-goosey again, and they'd kind of flow away from each other. But when it's cold, when it reaches its freezing point, then it becomes a solid. Now, what happens when we add salt is that the chemicals in salt, so Na, sodium, and Cl, chlorine, what happens is those molecules like get in between one water molecule and its buddy. And it just like steps in between, is like, I'm here. They can't be beside each other. So what happens is that the water says, oh, like it's cold. I want to be close to my buddy, but this salt is in the way. So what it does is it actually starts drawing heat out of like the surrounding area, or like, so it starts drawing energy in from other things, so it can lower the melting point. So what is happening is that while we shake this, the cream or the ice with the salt in it, it's trying to draw all of the energy out of the cream. So this is called an endothermic reaction. So an exothermic reaction is an explosion. You know, it's something that has energy and then releases it. An endothermic reaction is one that says, ooh, there's some energy over there. I'm going to bring it in. Okay, so that is what's happening in our ice. And it's taking all of the energy, and that's all that heat is. Heat is just energy. And it's taking all of that energy out of the cream, and you're going to end up with some really nice, cold ice cream. So Steven, he's flipping and flopping. He's shaking it over there. That's great to see. I'm just working my ice cream. Yours is probably done. Ooh, Miss Scholde said, hey, we added some food coloring to ours to make it orange. That's a great idea. We just added vanilla to this. You could also add like chocolate chips, maybe a little butterscotch, a little caramel if you're into that type of thing, and go from there. Okay, so we're going to shake for 1 more minute. Just give it 1 more good shake. Really mix it up. We're going to get some, get it all mixed up, get all the energy out of the cream and then into the ice. Sorry, Margot, can you just get me a cup? Yes. So we're going to get all this ice cream, and I'm starting to feel it. Mine is solidifying nicely. So that is going to be good. So we're going to have a big reveal in 10 seconds. 9, keep shaking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So what we're going to have left, if we pull out your bag, you guys are doing as much shaking as I did. Yeah, mine has started to solidify, and we actually have a really nice balance. Mine's still a little bit liquidy because I was doing a little bit too much talking and not enough shaking. But if you guys are at home and you were doing some good shaking, yours is going to be pretty solid. I got some good solid chunks in mine. So I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to put mine into a little mug. Oh, yeah, this is good. And there's a few things that we're going for here. So if you used half and half cream, and you did a good job shaking, your salt, your sugar crystals in your ice cream should be pretty small, okay? And that's what you want for good ice cream. You want a nice small crystal. If you have a crystal, it kind of like feels a little weird on your tongue. So I actually shook mine for a little too long, it looks like, and mine really solidified. So I'm gonna hold it right up here. Boop, boop, boop. So, but I'm gonna give it a little taste. Oh yeah, it's starting to melt already. And I don't know about you, that's some good tasting ice cream.
Yeah.
Steven, did you give yours a taste yet, or is it still,
I'm gonna try it out.
shaking?
Surprisingly good. Yeah.
Surprisingly good. Science has never tasted better. So, oh yeah. Miss Kerr from Normandy Community School is here as well. Oh yeah. Oh, grade 2, 3, grade 1, 2, and SK in 1. Fantastic. So with this, what is happening? And you guys, if you're at home eating your ice cream, make sure you take a picture and send it into at NII Explore for a chance to win a prize. But if you're making some ice cream right now, what I want you to remember is that we had to add the ice, or you had to add the salt into the ice to lower the freezing point, okay? So the salt didn't make the ice warmer, and that's why I turned to water. Because my bag, most of this ice turned into water, it melted, but it's not because it got warmer. What happened was the salt lowered the freezing point because those salt molecules don't let the water molecules like get together. They don't let those bonds form. And that's why we had to wear gloves, because most ice out of the freezer is at about -4 degrees Celsius. But when we add salt to it, it actually drops to -14 Celsius. So it gets really, really cold really quickly. And that makes it perfect as a way to draw heat out of the cream, making it ice cream. Steven, science, man.
What can I say?
Science. Like, if you guys wanted to wake up tomorrow morning and make this in your kitchen, your mom would be like, hey, what are you doing in the kitchen? And you're like, Mom, I'm doing science. It's a science experiment. And then offer her some ice cream, because I think she'll be impressed. If there's any moms watching on the channel, you just leave a comment to see if you're impressed with this ice cream. Go for it. All right. So I just want to recap in case anyone wants to do this at home. Thing number one, if you do want to do it at home, this lesson plan is actually on our website at NII.ca/explore. So you can find the lesson plan here. I'm pretty confident it'll also be on the library website. Yeah, the library will make that happen. I'm getting some nods. They're like, yeah, we can do that. So it'll be on there. So you guys can make sure that you guys can do this at home and follow the steps. But when you're explaining this to people, this is the key takeaway. The freezing point of water is lower when there's salt added, because those salt molecules don't let the water molecules get together, okay? And that creates an endothermic reaction because those water molecules, they want to be together, so they start drawing energy, and they say, oh, come on, more energy, and that makes everything around them colder because they're removing energy from the cream. Also, I do want to say, if you were shaking, especially if you're using the higher fat concentrated milk, you're going to taste those air bubbles. And mine ice cream, it was a little too hard at the beginning, but hopefully I can show you this. It's liquefied nicely into like a beautiful, that is perfect ice cream right now. I could sell this, but I won't because I'm hungry. Okay, that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But we just want to tell you what is next, okay? If you guys did this experiment, if you're eating it at home, snap a picture, or if you took a video of you guys shaking the bags or anything like that, put it onto NII's Instagram page for a chance to win a Tinker Crate. Now, a Tinker Crate, if you don't know what that is just it's like a science experiment in a little shoebox that we'll just mail right to you. And that is just a great way to continue the science learning. Also, sharing your videos lets everyone else say like, oh, there's Mrs. Kerr's class in Normanby. They're doing this. And there's Miss Boucher's in Kincardine, and they're doing this. And we get to have a big learning community of science, which is what we're all about here. Also, if you want to like join into a learning community of science, make sure you head over to the Bruce County Public Libraries, because just as Stephen said, one, they got lots of books on science, but two, it's not just books. They got games, they have activities, they have all sorts of things that can really make you think and hopefully make it be delicious, because the science of food is the greatest science of all. So with that in mind, that's all I got to say. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. But if not, I'm going to say I am Phillip Craig from the NII Explore program. And for Stephen at the library and everybody else, we want to say thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.